Best part of the fortnight, right?
That's right. The highlight of my 2 weeks.
When would a fortnight start officially? Because, like, think about it. You have weeks, they usually start on Sunday or Monday, right? What about a fortnight? Would it also be a Sunday or Monday, or would it be more clever than that?
I don't think it matters. It's just a span of 14 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're back today with another good episode.
Yep. This one's going to have plenty of good content.
All right. So start us
Hopefully,
off.
from
What's
you.
from me? Don't say from me.
All right. Well, I can start off with some good news.
Start us off with some awesome content.
I got
All
some
right,
good
go for
news.
it.
So the potato famine is over.
That is good news.
Do you know what
I
that
don't-
means?
I don't know what you're talking about, but that is good news.
Cubed potatoes are back in grocery stores.
No, don't start. Why are you starting with me already?
The good cubed potatoes, the ones that I was dying for, the ones that I
Oh.
always bought for breakfast, the nice, let's say 3/4 of a centimeter cubed size.
Oh, okay.
And they're back. New packaging
Not the-
from same supermarket brand, but new packaging. And no, not the ones that you hate. We don't
I was
talk
gonna say
about
not the
those.
tiny little diced ones.
No.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, man, when I saw those, and then the next time I went, I saw you remember I said how my fallback originally was those potato chip shaped ones, the oval ones. They're back too. I feel like the potatoes are back in stock. It's excellent. It's over.
You know what though? It's a weird phenomenon to see the things that you enjoy kind of come and go. You know what I mean? And you think that they're out of stock, not out of stock, but they've stopped production on them, and
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought they killed the people who produced them.
then you find out that they didn't stop production on them. Just for whatever reason, the grocery store is like, nah.
But it's the grocery store brand.
Oh, it's the grocery store. Oh, it's their own potato.
Yeah, they have. They make their own potato, but no, I don't know. They probably source it from somewhere, but the packaging is the grocery store packaging.
Right. Oh, that's a little more interesting. Because I was gonna say I like those bagel bites that McCain used to do, and they were like the little mini pizzas on the tiny bagels, and you pop them in the microwave or whatever. They were just really small things, right?
The more gourmet version of a pizza pocket.
No, because pizza pocket's like a calzone. This is just mini pizza on a bagel, right?
Yeah, but I feel like it's the fancier version to have a bagel bite because I don't know. They feel like you could serve those to most people, whereas if you serve a pizza pocket to anybody who's not a teenager, they'd probably take offense to it.
Listen, I eat on Saturdays. I very often just alternate between having hot dogs and pizza pockets. So
you do still eat pizza pockets?
I do still eat pizza pockets.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they still because I remember at some point I did not like the taste anymore.
Yeah, I shouldn't say I eat pizza. I don't eat pizza pockets. So the pizza pockets are the ones that do look like calzones, and then there's those ones that are just round, and those are called pizza. Or are those pizza pockets, and the other ones are pizza pop? I don't know. There's two kinds.
Oh, that's right. They're called pizza pops, right, or something like that. Some other
Yeah,
name
one
for
kind's
it.
called pizza pops, and one's called pizza pockets. I don't know what the difference is. Probably just different companies, right? But the one is like the calzone, which is like the moon shape with the kind of crinkle on the edge, right? And then there's the one that's just the round one. I think I agree with you. The one that has the crinkle on the edge, they taste weird.
The crinkle tastes weird, especially.
Well, I'm not saying that, but those ones taste weird, and they kind of taste expired, honestly, because it kind of tastes sour. But the ones that are just the round pocket ones, the round ball of dough ones, those ones taste fine. Those are the ones I get now.
Ah, okay.
And they're tiny bit more expensive, but they taste much better. So those are the ones I get now. I don't know if they're the pops or the pockets. I don't really.
Professional advice, though, right there. Because that's, I'm sure a lot of people were turned off by that whole idea of having pizza stuffed into some manufactured dough. But maybe if the taste is still good on those round ones, maybe people will come back.
If I go out, by myself and get pizza sometimes I will just get a calzone, like from a real pizza place. I'll just get a calzone instead of a pizza.
Yeah, they're quite
I
good.
feel like calzones are
They're efficient as well. It's like, you don't need anything else. Or they're economical. You can just pick it up with your hands and you don't have a mess with
That's right.
stuff
Or
coming off of it.
panzerotti. They're kind of the same thing. I don't really know what the difference is, but they're just mini calzones or panzerottis. And I don't think they're teenage food. I think they're just
No,
different pizza form.
it's like Pop Tarts. You kind of associate it with the teenage years
Yeah,
because of the commercials and everything.
it's true. But I do anyway. So I do still eat them because like Saturdays I'm usually busy, and then we got the with the podcast, and then we got game night. Early on. So after game night, I'll just eat something quick, and it'll either be the pizza pops or pockets or whatever they are, or I'll have hot dogs because those are also quick.
What do you prefer between the hot dogs and the pizza pops / pockets?
I don't prefer either one. I like them both. I just alternate depending on how I'm feeling.
All right, fair enough. And what do you put on your hot dogs?
Just ketchup and mustard.
Just ketchup and mustard, no relish?
Ketchup and honey mustard.
Oh, and honey mustard. Oh,
I don't like relish.
fancy.
Anyways, so back on topic. So the pizza, the bagel bites, right? I ate them a lot, like growing up, like as a teenager, and even a young adult. And then they just stopped. I stopped seeing them in stores. Well, maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, I started seeing them again. So I was like, yeah, I'll get on this. And I would buy like the big boxes, and get sometime at that point. And then I'd also alternate those into my Saturdays. Just something quick and easy to eat. So I did that for a few months, and now I can't find them in the stores again. So they came, and that was it. They were gone again.
Wow. Maybe you were the only one buying them. Who knows?
No, because sometimes I'd see them like out of stock. I don't know if it was just because they didn't have any, maybe because their supply was dwindling down again. Maybe it was only a limited time. I don't know.
Maybe you like go sleepwalking and buy them and then have them while you're unconscious.
There you go. Maybe that's it. But yeah, it's an interesting thing when you see something in the store that you like and then it's gone. Then it's especially weird when it comes back and then it leaves again. It's like a deadbeat dad.
It's like they're toying with you.
Yeah, that's
They're
right.
giving you false hope.
That's right. They're toying with my emotions. Yeah.
Speaking of things out of stock, have you found and bought any Count Chocula?
No, I didn't find any.
Uh,
It looked like it was in stock, maybe like Toronto way, but down here nobody stocked it. I looked everywhere, so no Count Chocula for me.
you got to start like shipping it, getting a deal with the manufacturer and setting up a warehouse.
I know. I should just go see if there's like a General Mills factory in Toronto and just go there during Halloween. A lot of those places do that though. Like we used to go to like who does Chips Ahoy in that? Christie, I guess it's Christie. Anyways, they have a factory in Toronto, and we'd go there and you could get like their stuff, direct for a good price. And they just had like a store, like a bulk store.
But do you have to buy it in bulk, or you can still buy it?
No, you don't have to buy it
individually?
in bulk. No.
Oh,
No.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So this was way back when, but I don't know how it functions nowadays. But you'd go there and get like especially because they would have like the deformed ones that they couldn't sell in the store
Well, that's even better. Those are awesome sometimes.
for like cheap because it didn't matter. They were the same. They just looked weird, or maybe they were like cut in half or something like that.
2/3 chocolate, the rest is cookie.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I had any like that, but so you go there and you buy the crappy cookies for like a quarter of the price. And it didn't matter. They just couldn't sell them in the store because they weren't pretty, but they'd sell them to the people.
I mean, really, if you stomp on them and then sniff them, it's the same thing, right?
There you go. That's right. So I wonder if General Mills has something like that, or they have the Hershey's factory in Niagara Falls, kind of the same thing.
Well, that one's more like a tourist attraction, I guess.
That one's more of a tourist attraction, so it's still expensive. Yeah.
You need to go somewhere in the middle of nowhere to like a factory that doesn't even have a storefront and just bribe the warehouse worker.
That's true.
Come on, man, give me a crate. Here, I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah. Give you $200. This crate just goes missing.
Hey, I mean, there's ways of getting around that. I'm sure they could finagle something. It's only a crate. No one will notice.
So you got your cute potatoes. That is a good.
That's right.
That's a good start.
I'm still finishing off my regular fries, though, because I didn't want to open them yet. But, they're there. As soon as I finish the current ones, I'll open them up and enjoy the taste of cube again.
It's gonna be a fantastic time for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You can't believe how excited I was in the store when I saw them. I thought I died, actually. I thought I was dead, and this was just like heaven, which, I knew would be wrong because certainly not going there. But still, It was a pleasant feeling.
Yeah, but you're gonna see because you haven't tried them yet. You're gonna eat them and they're gonna taste completely different.
You know what? Like I'll bear with it. It's the shape that matters. It's a
Is
very
it the shape?
it is. It's the shape
What if it
because
doesn't even taste like a potato?
well, what's it gonna taste like?
I don't know. Maybe it could taste like, I don't know, something completely different.
If it tastes like nothing, that's okay. It's just filler at that point. But the point is the shape is important because like I find with the fries, I've gotten used to kind of rotating them as best as I can, but it's hard to get them to cook evenly. So some of them will be a bit more not soggy, but you know how it is like with fries, they're not as crispy in the omelet, but with the cubes, they roll around just like anything else that is cube like. So you can get them to be cooked easily on all sides.
I mean, I told you should have just gotten a bag of potatoes and gotten a
Just yeah, bought one of those contraptions that does it for me.
do it
But
yourself. That's right. Then you would have felt fulfilled as you ate breakfast.
because it would be my hard work that
You'd
put it
work
on the
that
table.
much harder to get them. That's right.
Yeah. I honestly, it's a good idea it's a good idea to create a business that does this. Let's be honest. I think a lot of people would be keen on buying home cubed potatoes. You could sell them. I mean, like it's very easy.
I don't think there's a.
You
I
just
don't
buy
think
a
there's
bunch of
huge market
potatoes.
for home.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. You go on the highway and you on the side of the highway, you put a sign up, home cubed potatoes.
You should try it. I don't know if they do a lot of those in those kind of stands in Portugal, but
They
you
don't
should set one up
exactly. That's why it's even
for. Just
better.
go outside your apartment and start selling
Yeah,
cube
people
potatoes
try to get back
the street.
inside. I'm like, no, not even. I'm just gonna start in the apartment building.
There you go.
Just harass people as they try to enter the building. Put them inside a trench coat and just open one side up at a time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, do them in a trench coat. That'll go over well. Just see what the cops say.
I'm sure they won't say anything. Everybody loves potatoes here.
It's true. Once they know, maybe you'll become the official supplier of the police department.
Exactly. I'll be sanctioned to wear a trench coat and nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not that, but something. Well, there you go. So you got your potatoes. That's a good thing. Was that the highlight of your week?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I know. It's you can't really top anything like that, so it's all downhill from here.
it's true. What are you gonna do after potatoes? You can't. Anyways, in other news, let's talk about. I had something else this week I was going to talk about. I thought I bookmarked it, but I can't find it. But let's talk about Guinness World Records.
Well, that's right. I remember you talked about wanting to talk about this.
Everybody loves Guinness World Records. I remember watching the TV show when I was a kid and seeing all the wacky world records.
Do you hold a world record?
I held a world record for the most time wasted streaming to no audience.
I mean, you could, right? Maybe. Why don't you try to enter it?
That's my world record. Yeah.
Can you imagine how popular you become? You'd lose that record in a fraction of a second.
I don't know how many people follow Guinness World Records anymore. I feel like Guinness World Records were a bigger thing when I was a kid. And maybe it was just because it was cool when I was a kid, and adults didn't really care. But I just feel like it was a bigger thing when I was a kid. They had a TV show, like it was kind of a big deal. The book was everywhere.
The Guinness that makes the world records, is it the same as the Guinness that makes the beer?
Yes. Let's find out what the history of them is. Okay, yeah. So the beer company made the book. So the beer company made the book to settle world records. Sorry, to settle bar bets.
Yeah, The Simpsons made a thing about it. There was a whole episode dedicated to it, which I guess the Duff World Records is the Simpsons version of it.
On November 10th, 1951, Sir Hugh Beaver, then the managing director of the Guinness Breweries, went on a shooting party in the North Slob by the River Slaney. See, Ireland would be a fantastic place because nothing sounds real there.
What is a shooting party?
When they go out, like a big hunting party.
Oh, okay. Why don't they just call it a hunting party?
Well, I don't know. It's a shooting party. I don't know. In County Wexford, Ireland, after missing a shot at a golden plover.
What's
which
a
is
plover?
a type of bird.
Oh, okay.
It's a type of bird.
All these
He became
words, they're
involved.
Irish.
I know. That's what I said. Going to Ireland would be so wild. It'd be so wild. Because nothing would make sense. And they're all speaking English, but nothing makes sense. He became involved in an argument over which was the fastest game bird in Europe, the golden plover or the red grouse.
I know what grouse is based on the whiskey.
Right. The plover is faster, but neither is the fastest in Europe. That evening, he realized it was impossible to confirm in reference books whether or not it was the fastest bird. So then it kind of... Beaver knew that there must have been numerous other questions debated nightly among the public, but there was no book in the world with which to settle arguments about records. So he made one.
What a wholesome start to a book, a worldwide famous book.
So he wasn't technically the start. I mean, he came up with the concept, but then one of his employees put him in touch with some university people, Norris and Ross McWhirter, who had been running a fact-finding agency in London.
Remember when those existed? Fact-finding agencies?
Yeah, fact-finding agency. Yeah, we just call it Google now. And so he commissioned them to write the book. So they're the official creators or co-founders of the book at the behest of Sir Hugh Beaver. So it is related to the beer brand. It's not like the Guinness Company made it, but the guy did both.
And then for some reason he called it Guinness World Book of Records. He should have called it Beaver's Big Book of Records. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Guinness is perfect. If you want to advertise your brewery, take a popular book and slap its name on it.
Does the book have the Guinness logo on it?
I don't know, but I think when people hear Guinness, they think of the alcohol.
Yeah, I guess so.
But anyways, so, there's a lot of Guinness World Records. A lot of them don't really make sense. A lot of them are really weird. But there's a lot that have been discontinued. Actually, there's not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, there's actually not a lot of world records that have been discontinued. Some of them are the reason for which, or what they are really weird. So I thought we'd just take a look at some of these really weird ones. A lot that were, banned involve animals. So one record that was banned was the largest audience at a camel wrestling festival.
Camel wrestling? Oh.
Camel wrestling, yeah.
I wonder how that works.
So I don't know, actually. I don't know. They just put two camels in a ring.
But do they have pictures or videos or anything?
Here, let me look.
When was it outlawed? In what year? How recent?
It was outlawed in 2010.
Oh man, that's so recent. There must be TikTok videos almost.
Oh, there are pictures of camel wrestling if you Google it. It looks like they're just like leaning on each other. I'm thinking camel wrestling is kind of boring. They just don't have much to do in the Middle East.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I don't understand. Like, the whole point of wrestling is to be able to grapple. How in the world does an animal like a camel or a horse or something of that sort grapple?
Well, maybe they do. They just throw each other around.
Well, I mean, once they're down, they're down. That's it. It's like a one-hit KO.
Well, I don't know. Are camels like turkeys? Or turkeys? Turtles?
No, it's like a horse where if you knock down a horse and something breaks while it's being knocked down, which is
if something breaks,
quite reasonable to happen, then it's over. They get shot.
They just kind of. So I'm looking at a video right now. They just kind of like lean on each other and like headbutt each other till one falls and then the other one stomps on his head, I guess.
Oh wow, that's pretty gruesome.
So, anyways, so that was discontinued.
Well, why was it discontinued though?
Concerns with animal welfare. So a lot just had to do with, you don't want to propagate.
But do they force them, or are these camels constructing their own storylines to show off the wrestling moves?
Pretty sure they're not doing that.
Do they have a?
Anyways, here are some questions that I don't have the answers to.
World Wrestling Camel Federation.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Do they have a belt and everything?
They might.
Did camels spit, right? So maybe they spit on each other.
Yeah, the video that I saw, their mouths were very spitty.
And if you're in the front row, you get spit on as well. So that's another reason. It's cleanliness. That's why they outlawed it.
Anyways, the previous world record holder was the 1994 Camel Wrestling Festival in Selçuk, Turkey, and it had an audience of 20,000 people.
Where was it held to be able to support 20,000? Was it in an actual stadium?
I don't know. Just says Selçuk, Turkey.
Just in the middle of the street.
Maybe it was. It was a festival. You can have festivals in the street. So just bring some camels and let them go at it.
Yeah. So, okay. But from now on, though, if I try to do this, even if I manage to get...
Why are you going to try to fight camels?
No, I'm not trying to fight camels. I'm trying to get camels to wrestle each other. It's fake. It's all scripted. So if I try to do this and I invite 20,001 people, regardless, I won't be able to get the record.
You will not be able to hold a world record
All
with
right,
Guinness.
all right. I'll stick to horse wrestling then.
Yeah, stick to horse wrestling.
Did they outlaw that?
Actually, it does say and other controversial animal sports.
Well, what does that mean? That doesn't.
I don't know. The's probably a plethora of them.
We're gonna have to talk to a lawyer.
You're not allowed
see.
to wrestle animals and get in Guinness World Record. All right, you're not allowed to do it. So just don't do it.
What about monkey knife fights?
No.
Well, the Simpsons did it.
Yeah, that was probably not outlawed back then.
Now they went on to international waters.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, they also went on international waters. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, the voice actress for Millhouse retired this week.
Wait, which one is? I thought it was just one of the main cast that does Millhouse's voice.
It is not.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Millhouse is finally dead.
No, they're gonna recast him.
He's gonna be black now.
It's Pamela Hayden.
That's
her name.
I feel like I heard that name.
She also voices Jimbo Jones, Rod, Sarah Wiggum, Janie. I don't even know who Janie is. I think she's one of Lisa's friends.
Janie is Lisa's friend, but not the twins.
I think the twins was done by. Actually, I found an interesting Simpsons tidbit that I didn't know. The voice actress who's most prolific for voicing Minnie Mouse from Disney was a voice actress in The Simpsons.
But again, not one of the main ones.
No, but I think she did the twins. Is it Russie Taylor? Is that who it was? Yeah, Russie Taylor. She voiced, let's see, Minnie Mouse and Simpsons.
For what it's worth, I don't think I've ever seen anything with Minnie Mouse speaking.
Sherry Terry, Martin Prince, Wendell Borton, Ooter.
Oh, she played Ooter. Okay.
She played Ooter, yeah. Lewis Clark, Martha Prince, and I don't know who those people are, but... So, the one who did Ooter was also Minnie Mouse for the most prolific Minnie Mouse voice actress until she died in 2019. And then they recast them. So, another fun tidbit. Oh, I think that's what it was going to be. I in the process, I think that was the thing I was thinking of. In the process of finding out about this Millhouse voice actors, I found out a lot of other fun facts. Well, a few other fun facts. So the other one is the guy who voices Mr. Burns, Harry Shearer, is the same age now as Mr. Burns was when the series started. Mr. Burns was 80 in season 1.
And Harry Shearer is 80 now.
And he's 80 now.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, here I am worrying about reaching Homer's age. And the main voice actor for Mr. Burns is reaching Mr. Burns' age. So
I remember him from Spinal Tap. So, you know, I remember seeing him as a very young person for a whole movie.
There you go. But I mean, they've been doing Simpsons for 35 years.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 80 now, right? He would have been 45 back then, which is not that old. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, I wanted to share that stuff. So that's what that reminded me of. Anyways, so yeah, no monkey fighting. Here's an interesting one that I wouldn't think would be banned, but it is. The fastest journey around the world by car. Which I don't even know how you do a fastest journey around the world by car.
Does the car have to go over water as well, or do you have the ability to take a boat?
How do you go around the world without going over water? You physically can't.
Like if you stay in a car that goes inside a freight plane, are you able to fly over?
I imagine the car has to travel by boat or plane or something to get to the next spat of land, and then it's just a car from there. But that one was discontinued in 1996. Obviously, concerns because it was breaking speed limits.
Well, what if you have to actually just maintain the speed limit? Like that could be part of the rule.
Fastest journey around the world by car while maintaining the speed limit.
That's perfectly reasonable. And what does it mean to say around the world though? I always wondered about that. You know, around the world in 80 days or whatever. I didn't understand. Like, why does it have to go through specific places? Because you can go around the world if you go to the very north of the Earth. You could just go around the North Pole and say, "Oh, I went around the world." Like, what's the rule? Like, strictly speaking, then it should be a great circle around the entire Earth, the longest you can go.
Pretty sure that's what's understood by the term.
But you know, you're still technically not following that exact path. Even if you deviate
not
slightly.
exact, but like
maybe they have
to
some
end where you
cities.
start. So I mean, I guess you can go up to the North Pole and do a lap around the equator, I suppose, if you can get up there. But I think most people are not going to do that because you'll freeze to death or whatever before that happens.
Well, no, I mean, Santa lives up there. He doesn't freeze to death. You can
Well,
go to the
Santa's
North
a
Pole.
magical being, though.
Well, maybe he can set the world record. That is a weird one, though, yeah, because there's no reason to restrict it when you can just add restrictions.
That's right. Fastest yodel? It doesn't even say why. It doesn't even say why it was banned, but it was banned.
We don't talk about it because it was probably so gruesome when somebody tried to do it that it's like now it's forever sealed. They probably tried to do it and suddenly like their insides burst out of their mouth. I don't know, those yodelers, there's probably some skill involved there to the point of you could actually like injure yourself. So who knows? Internal bleeding.
The title is, however, currently held by Yahoo
What?
company.
The yodeler?
The title of the fastest yodeler, which commemorated its 20th anniversary in March 2015 by having 3,432 employees yodel its classic jingle.
Well, what does it mean fastest? Like, what do they mean by that?
I don't know, the fastest single yodel. And yodels aren't very long. So the fastest person to ever have done it was in 1992. It was only 22 tones. 22 tones, 15 were falsetto in 1 second. So I don't know.
So how long is
I guess you have
that?
to figure out what a yodel consists of.
Yeah, but how long is 22 tones? How long was that person's yodel?
Like, I don't know, 22 notes, I guess.
Okay, but
It was 1 second. Just 1
That's
second. How fast it was.
This makes it seem like it's a Family Guy skit where Peter Griffin
It's just
is
like yelling. It's like, here we go.
is reciting the alphabet in
That's
like a second, and he's just yelping really quickly.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. No wonder it was outlawed. It's a slap in the face to anybody who appreciates a good long yodel.
Yep. Heaviest pets is also outlawed.
Heaviest pets? Is that because people were overstuffing their pets and they became obese and part of American culture?
Yep. And the heaviest cat was had to be transported in a wheelbarrow, and it weighed 47 pounds.
I mean, that's not that heavy. Let's be honest. A wheelbarrow.
You don't think it's that heavy, but on a I don't know why you need a wheelbarrow.
No, I just mean like
cat,
surely they could have done better than 47. Give it another burger.
Yeah, this is why it's outlawed.
Now is it per animal? Is that how they decide, or is it like literally you can make a pet out of anything and then say, hey, my blue whale here, that's my pet, heaviest.
Well, you can't do any of that now because it's outlawed.
Yeah,
so.
It's too bad. So I'll scratch that off the list.
Yep, scratch that off your list.
Along with the camel wrestling.
Hunger strikes and fasting. That's an obvious one.
Why? That's important. That's a valuable life skill to learn.
Fine, go do it, but you're not getting a Guinness World Record for it.
People are going to be starving in 50 years, especially in America.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Untimed gluttony.
That's just eating as much as you can.
Just eating competitions. So,
but untimed it says. So if it's timed, it's okay.
I don't know. I don't know what untimed. I don't know what classifies as untimed gluttony.
Oh, I know what it is. It's being able to eat as much, like, let's say it's a steak that's, 10 kilograms or whatever. Yeah, it's being able to eat it with as much time as you need.
I mean, actually, that's probably fair because in 1955, the fastest time to eat an ox was 42 days. And that was completed in 1880 in Germany. Anyway, so 43 records were banned in 1989, and that included the greatest omnivore remaining for historic value. Oh, no, the only one that's still in the book is greatest omnivore remaining for historic value. And it's by Michael Lotito, who would consume chandeliers, bicycles, television sets, and a Cessna light aircraft.
A whole Cessna? Oh, that's impressive. How does he do this, though? Like, does he use a fork and knife, a very sharp one, or
I don't know. He's dead now.
Yeah, but how does it work? I never
actually. If you saw him, I guarantee you'd recognize him because I'm pretty sure I've seen him on I'm pretty sure they made fun of this guy on The Simpsons or Family Guy or something like that.
Okay, what was the name again? I just want to quickly take a look.
Michael Lotito.
Oh, he's French. Michel.
He's French.
Michel Lotito.
Michel. Well, whatever. Do you recognize him? I feel like he's been made fun of somewhere. Look at him in the Wikipedia one. Don't look at him in the...
Well, he looks a little bit like the meme of the guy who's like smiling but sad.
Oh, Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay.
But I don't think
I
that's,
guess it's not him though.
No, that's not.
Okay, it's not. He just looks like him. Okay,
A
fair
little
enough.
bit, yeah, but makes sense. But it's interesting. Okay, but how does he consume?
He just does
I
it.
love how he died of natural
He died at
causes.
55.
But not natural causes. I mean, whatever. He's French. He probably just drank too much. I love how the alcohol killed him and not the. Okay, hold on. No. He claimed not to suffer ill effects from his consumption of substances typically considered poisonous. When performing, he ingested approximately 1 kilogram of material daily, preceding it with mineral oil and drinking considerable quantities of water during the meal.
I just don't understand how.
He had eaten nearly 9 tons of metal between 59 and 97.
I don't understand how that's even possible. Anyways, here's some of the things that he's confirmed to have eaten. 45 door hinges, 18 bicycles, 15 shopping carts, 7 TV sets, 6 chandeliers, 2 beds, a pair of skis, a computer, a copy of the textbook Gravitation by Misner, Thorne, and Wheeler, 1 Cessna 150 light aircraft, 1 waterbed full of water, 500 meters of steel chain at once, 1 coffin with handles, a Guinness Award plaque. I guess that's
the one he got. And then he kept
and
going.
assorted razors and bolts.
Ooh, razors. Jeez.
That's not even necessarily where it jumps the shark, but like, how do you eat razors and pass them through you?
Here. This so it says right here. His method for eating all this metal was to break it into small pieces before attempting to eat it. He drank mineral oil and continued to drink water while swallowing the metal bits. So the mineral oil, I guess, lubricated his throat enough that all the metal would be able to go through. And apparently he didn't have any digestive issues from all this. So as long as it got into his stomach, no problem.
And that's where it falls apart for me. When I eat chicken wings, I'm so careful to like not accidentally eat like a very tiny bone spur, like enough of one that, my teeth will crunch against it, but I can break it down, right? Like sometimes you just, accidentally get a piece, because I know like as soon as it starts going through, I'm going to feel it. Like as small as it is, as insignificant as it is, even the fact that I can chew through it, I know I'm going to feel it down in I'm going to feel it get like stuck somewhere. So like with metal, I just don't see like, okay, maybe he gets it down. Sure. But once it starts going through parts of you, because metal's not breaking down in your stomach.
Oh, it is. Why not? I'm sure metal can break down in your stomach.
I don't think so. I don't know what mineral oil is, though.
Mineral oil is, well, it's funny because I think mineral oil is actually a laxative. So that, I guess it helps.
Oh, so he must drink it down and then just be like, oh, let's get it out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah, just
like he just
shoots
sits on the toilet while he does these things.
Yeah, the picture of him, of him on Wikipedia is a little
like
bit edited. There's
in.
actually a toilet right underneath where he's
Yeah,
sitting.
that's right. Yeah. Just goes out as soon as nobody dies at 55 from natural causes. Let's be honest.
It's only 900 grams of metal per day. It's not that bad. I mean,
that's wild. 1 kilogram of metal, almost 1 kilogram of metal is wild.
I feel like I don't even eat that much food a day.
Yeah, that might be true too.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. He had digestive juices that were unusually powerful, meaning that he could digest the unusual materials. But look, soft foods such as bananas gave him heartburn, specifically when he had metal in his stomach. That's why he didn't eat normal food. It was just too soft for him.
They didn't have Tums back then.
He had to follow it with metal.
What an interesting character. Some people are so weird. What else we got? Largest penny pyramid, because it led to penny shortages.
Wow, that's a perfect thing to use pennies for now, so bring it back.
Well, yeah, nowadays, yeah, bring it back. That's right. So the current record is 1984 to 2 preteens from Arizona who built a structure of 104,000 pennies.
I wonder how tall is that?
I don't know.
It doesn't tell you the height? That's ridiculous. That's the more important thing. I guess we can calculate it.
It's not going to be that high. It's honestly not that high.
Well, hold on. Thickness of a penny. Let's look it up. 1.52 millimeters. And you said how many?
Yeah, that's not going to tell you anything. It's not like it's a single stack all the way to the fucking moon.
Oh, I thought it would be.
It's a pyramid.
Oh, it's a pyramid? Oh, okay. Oh, that's garbage. That's a terrible record. What about a house of cards? The biggest house of cards?
Nothing like that.
Not banned.
Nothing like that. Longest Kiss is banned. Was banned in 2013 for dangers associated with sleep deprivation.
What was the longest record, though?
It doesn't say. Longest time spent buried alive. That current record goes to from 1998 to Jeff Smith, who remained underground for 147 days,
That's very
and
impressive.
he did it to beat his mother's 101 day stint.
He's like, you take that, mom.
Yeah. And actually, here's the thing: even though he technically holds the record, Guinness would not give him. So they can't. They got rid of it while he was doing it or after he did it. Guinness denied him the award for safety reasons, and Jeff said, "There are far more dangerous things in the book. There is a record for a man who eats cars," which probably refers to that guy we were just talking about.
This Michel Lotito lifts his head while he's chewing on a bumper. That's terrible.
They banned a record.
What did he do after that? He should have murdered them. Like, honestly, this guy apparently can survive being in a coffin underground for 104 days.
Doesn't say anything about coffin. Just says he was buried. He just remained underground.
But like with his head underground as well?
No, he's probably entirely underground.
So he would suffocate, wouldn't he?
Doesn't say how they were buried. Just says he was buried.
What's the source of all these, by the way? The outlawed ones and the descriptions. Like, where are you reading this from?
Wikipedia, but it's backed up by other things.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because, like, how is he getting the oxygen is my question.
Well, things I don't know. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's not 100% clear how it's being done. It's just this is the discontinued record. I'm not saying how it's...
All right, fair enough.
How it's being done. You know, these are just interesting tidbits. You know, take it as you take it. But I would imagine nothing I'm saying here is a lie or misinformed. Like I said, this one has a newspaper clipping here from the Glasgow, from the Express in Scotland. Guinness bury the human mole's feet. Human mole Jeff Smith, who spent 147 days buried underground, had his hopes of fame dashed after the Guinness Book of Records refused to recognize his feet. Jeff emerged last weekend, 38, after passing the 141-day stint. Oh, okay, so he wanted to be his mother, but the previous stint was not his mother. The previous stint was American Bill White, who had done it in 1981. The original record was his mother, who was the 101 days. She stayed in a coffin under the beach at Skegness Links for 100 days in 1968. Both attempts were included by Guinness, but spokesman Clive Carpenter said yesterday we're no longer prepared to see people put themselves under this sort of strain to create a record we don't feel is safe. Jeff, who was buried in the garden of the Railway Inn in Mansfield Knott, said, oh, so he's dead. Probably from being buried alive. There are far more dangerous things in the book. There's a record for a man who eats cars. So I don't think anything I'm telling you is false.
No, fair enough. They don't explain. That's all. I believe it. It's just that there has to be some caveats.
I think I've seen something like this before, though, where I think they use like a straw and like a feeding tube. So maybe it isn't a coffin or a series of vents or whatever you want to call them that go up above ground. I don't know how you handle like going to the washroom and stuff like that, though.
you got some space for a couple of you got some space for more than 100 days, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how all that works.
Coffin with a built-in toilet. Huh? Oh, that's miserable, especially if you have claustrophobia. That'd be terrible.
Well, I'm thinking you're not going for this if you have claustrophobia. Yeah, I don't see how it was done, but I'm sure with enough research you could find specifics. It's just not included here. Most greeting cards received by an individual is also banned.
Why?
For fear of overwhelming the postal system.
I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Somebody could overwhelm the postal system without sending greeting cards.
This was back when the postal system was important. Now, Canada Post is on strike right now. There's
even
no
more
Canadian
more reason to say like, oh, just
now you can do
put it back.
Canada Post would love it.
Yeah, they need the business.
Yeah, they're all running in the deficit, in the negatives, and they would love it to do it. The people to do it. Anyway, so between 1989 and 1991, a young British brain cancer patient set the record by receiving 33 million cards. And actually, the male continued for more than a decade after... actually, he didn't die after his recovery. Maybe dead now. Oh, yeah, he's dead now. But...
Crushed by the weight of the greeting cards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I wonder how many duplicates he got. Because if you think about it, there can't be that many varieties, right?
Oh no, he probably got tons of repeats.
It'd be interesting. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how many unique ones there were among them.
This one's kind of weird. I don't know why this one would have been banned, but Most tweets received in a single second. It was 143,000 tweets in a second on the 2nd of August 2013, and it occurred as the Studio Ghibli film Castle in the Sky aired on Japanese television because of a tradition of tweeting the word balse as it is said on screen. I guess that's the thing with Studio Ghibli films.
What word?
Balse, B-A-L-S-E.
Balse.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a Japanese word, right? Balse, also spelled Balis, is an incantation used to destroy the flying castle Laputa in Miyazaki's 1986 animated film Castle in the Sky.
Okay. I saw that movie, but I don't remember that word.
Well, like I said, it's probably Japanese, right? So unless
I mean, I did see it in Japanese, though, so I don't know.
Right, but I mean, how much of Japanese do you understand where you're
No,
going to...
but it probably wouldn't have been
be able to
translated.
identify every phoneme.
It probably wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
It would probably...
What says Barusu?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Video game high scores are banned. And I think that just goes back to... Do you know that one guy with Donkey Kong?
Because he cheated?
Yeah, between that and... Because you hear those stories every once in a while. People who just keep playing video games and they die.
Yeah, but that happened again. Like all these things happen no matter what. Whether there's a Guinness World Record to be set, they still die.
It's true, but you don't want to. You still don't maybe want to try propagating that.
If it was up to me, I would encourage all records are free game. You can do whatever you want. You can camel wrestle. You can do a longest kiss with a horse. It doesn't matter to me. Like if people want to try it. If they want to test their luck, go ahead. That's how life settles things. It's by people killing themselves trying to achieve a world record for Guinness.
There you go. That's it. I don't know. There might be some liability involved if they were to say like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this for Guinness," and then they die.
Yeah, but they could say that anyway and just feign ignorance, saying that, "Oh, I didn't know that it was outlawed."
Well, yeah, it's true. You're not wrong.
Because I wouldn't have known that I can't do my camel wrestling anymore.
Well, you probably would have looked it up.
I wouldn't.
I'm thinking you're not going for a world record without first finding out what you have to meet.
Some people probably do. Those dreamers out there. I'm
gonna go stand on my head and get in Guinness World Record. And they do it for like 2 hours, and then they find out the record is like 600 days or something like that.
Yeah, but hey, you gotta encourage children somehow.
You gotta do your research before you jump into something like that. If you're dedicated enough to go for the record, you're gonna know what the record is. Nobody just goes, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this. And if it happens, it happens. If you're going for a Guinness World Record, you're dedicated to the world record. That's what it is. And that involves a, very high knowledge rate of what you're doing, how you're doing it, preparation for it. Nobody goes for a Guinness World Record and just fucking wings it. But there you go. So those are some Guinness World Records that have been discontinued. I thought it was interesting. I like the camel fighting one.
Yeah, the camel wrestling is quite good. The man eating everything.
The man eating one, I thought was interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of Guinness World Records. Those books are pretty big.
They probably only capture a subset of what's actually there. I feel like there's probably still more that they don't document.
It's true, and they got some pretty stupid ones though. Like I know for a fact they have like the most difficult ever Mario Maker level created. I know that because I followed the guy on Twitch who did it.
Who did it? Oh, so he holds the world record. What does that even mean, hardest? Like it's still it has to be
lowest completion percentage based on attempt wise.
And that's based on because there's a leaderboard, I guess, on Nintendo's servers that says what the completion.
Yeah, it tells you how many people beat it.
Okay.
Yeah, it tells you how many people tried it and how many people beat it.
But it also has to be a level that it has to be a possible to do level, right? I think you have to be able to beat it?
You can't upload a Mario Maker level without beating it.
So yeah, okay, that's it. That's the restriction. I remember now.
This level was tried I don't remember what it was, 12 million times or something like that, and it has a completion record of 0.0007% or something like that. Only 10 people have ever beaten it.
Have you beaten it?
And no, I haven't.
You should. Have you tried it?
No.
Come on, you got to at least try it.
No, these Mario Maker levels are at that level are beyond anything you would even imagine. And it actually took the creator something like 140 hours himself to beat it before he could even upload it.
Man, you got to try it at least, just for the novelty of it, to say, hey, I tried the world record holding Mario Maker level.
No, I think it was Mario Maker 1, and the servers are offline for that. But I have no desire to do that. those hardcore Mario levels, like in Mario Maker and Kaizo Mario games and all that, they're because I watch those quite often because I do enjoy watching them. But they're nuts. The amount of skill these people have when they run those is off the chart. It's amazing. It's like the hardest Mario level you can imagine playing in a normal Nintendo game times like 5,000. Yeah, so even like weird stuff like that is in Guinness. Like they'll take anything as long as it's, safe.
Well, then, unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to use your idea of longest stream career without
No, I didn't say
viewers.
longest stream. Never said. Well, yeah, no, that's fine. Why is that unsafe?
Well, they're gonna claim that it's about somebody sacrificing their life or whatever for it.
I mean, you can put a spin on anything. I think if it's got to be a reasonable spin.
I guess if it's a long-term thing, then that's okay, as long as it's not like
If it
a
was
marathon.
like the longest, yeah, if it was long as marathon, they probably wouldn't do that. Although a lot of them now, a lot of streamers now, they do the subathons, right? And those go for like weeks at a time, and they just keep the stream running while they're sleeping. I'm like, what's the point?
Well, some people like to watch other people sleep. It's a fetish they have.
People eat it up, or they call it a subathon or a marathon, and they just do their normal hours, but there's a clock in the corner that goes up or down based on subscriptions. Like it's just the biggest. People have learned how to like scam people on these streaming platforms like crazy.
You got to get
Ways
in on that. Start scamming.
I've unfollowed people that very clearly are just in it to scam people and make money. I don't care how entertaining they are. If that's what it looks like to me that they're doing, then I stop watching them. That's not how it used to be. That's the thing.
It used to be about the stream, not the money.
It used to be about the community and having a good time. Now it's just how quickly can I make $1 million?
And get out of there. That's the trick, right? You gotta make $1 million and get out of there before you're called out for sexual harassment.
That's true. Yeah.
That's always how it is with streaming, isn't it? YouTube and streaming. At some point, you become the villain. At some point, you'll rise to a point where you're called out for sexual harassment. It happens I bet you it happens to every single popular streamer, no matter
I
how
don't think it happens to every
kind
single
they
one.
seem, even if they're actually not guilty.
But that happens to anybody, no matter how popular they are. You're always going to have somebody who's going to make a false accusation on something.
No, but I feel like it happens it's very prevalent for streamers or like YouTube content creators.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's prevalent, but it happens. Anyways, movie time. It's movie time.
Yeah, we're reviewing Beautiful Boy from 2018. Remember, it's 2018, not whatever year I mentioned last time, which has the same name.
Steve Carell, Timothy Chalamet. It's a movie about a dad's struggle with his, dad and the son too. A dad and a son struggling with the son's drug addiction, crystal meth addiction, and it's based on a true story. It's essentially the dad and the son both wrote biographies of these years, of these events. So the movie is a mashup of those two biographies. And what'd you think?
Well, so I think that Steve Carell lost his comedic touch. I only laughed for like half the film, but the movie did have the best car chase since the Fast and the Furious movies. So props to them for that. To have a minivan try to tail another car, that's pretty impressive.
There you go.
But yeah, the movie, I like the movie, but I don't know. I still think that Timothy Chalamet was... I don't know how the son is in real life, but I feel like he was more of a dick than he needed to be. Or maybe he should have been. I don't know how it is when somebody is a drug addict on meth, but it feels like some of it wasn't the drugs, right? Some of the personality was not the drugs. It was just, I don't know, he's just a dick for some reason. Which is strange. Like, they never explain why. I really thought they were going to go through the process of him turning to drugs in more detail, but it kind of just happens. And they do show a few things, right, where he's kind of where he's young and then he's looking stuff up. But that's it. They don't really go into detail about, well, okay, clearly he doesn't just go from 0 to 100. So it would have been nice to know a little bit more about how it actually happens. Because that's an interesting aspect of this idea of like, well, how do people get to that point? It doesn't just happen.
I do think they addressed the point, and I do think that the answer was it does just happen. Like, he did talk about how, Steve Carell's character asked him, like, this wasn't yesterday. This was like several months. He said, what happened? He said, you know, and he said it started with the pot and it started with the alcohol, and he liked the feeling of being separated from reality because reality sucked and he felt alone, and that was his escape. And the thing is that if that's your mindset, that escalates.
But they should have showed that gap. They should have, I don't know, they could have easily added more details because it's based on the true story, right? I'm
But it
sure.
wasn't okay. So it's important to clarify that this wasn't a movie about the kid's dissension into drugs. It was it was mostly about how the father handled it.
That's true, yeah.
So it's not necessarily important about how he fell into drugs because, and I don't think there was anything, I don't think there was any big thing that would have involved, you know, the father. Like they had a really close relationship, and the son just realized that being high or being drunk or whatever was an escape from reality that he needed at that time. And you know, even flipping through the notebook, you know, when Steve Carell was sitting there flipping through his notebook, you know, the notebook showed that descent. It showed how he started by trying to get away, and then you know, it said things like, I don't want to let people down, and the more you know, it's a circle. The more I do drugs, the more I pull away. The more I let people down. The more I let people down, the more depressed I get. The more I do drugs. Like I think what you were looking for, I think was all there. It just wasn't like,
It wasn't
you know,
shown.
overtly
Yeah, it
explained.
wasn't shown,
You know, and then the
obviously.
doctor, you know, the doctor told Steve Carell like, you know, this is what's going on in the brain, and you know, people especially who are addicted to meth, to crystal meth, it targets a certain part of the brain that just increases fear and anxiety. So once you get onto it, everything, all those negative feelings that fuel wanting to do it just become worse and worse. So I think most of it was explained, and I don't think, you know, necessarily there's always an explanation for it. Sometimes you do it because you're going to experiment with it, and sometimes it gets away from you. I think I would think a lot of people are like that actually. You know, the people you see on the streets who are high on crystal meth, it's typically not a I was homeless so I wanted crystal meth. It was more like, you know, something happened. I went, you know, I tried crystal meth and spiraled from there, and now I'm on the street.
Meth is a hell of a drug.
Meth is a hell of a drug, you know. And hearing the stuff in the movie was, you know, to see what happens, about how it does affect you. I thought, you know, enough of an explanation to explain that kind of stuff. But like I said, it wasn't a movie to be like, you know, here's this guy's descent. No, it was just the, you know, how's the dad handle it?
And boy does he handle it well. Like he does so much for the kid. Like it's ridiculous. He yeah. I mean I don't know how true to life it is, but that's a very dedicated father.
You know, I've read a lot of stories on these, and I did some research. You know, I did research after, you know, watching this movie, and I think everything that they depicted was very true to how it plays out in a lot of situations. Because I've seen stories where, you know, where they've talked to, you know, people on the street or whatever, and they'll say like, oh, I have a mom and dad, and they won't let me live, you know, or I have a mom and dad, and you know, I think to myself like, well, why don't they let them live with them and get clean and all that? And I think this was, you know, and then they say like, you know, they gave me chance after chance after chance after chance till they just couldn't do it anymore because it hurt them, which was the lady at the end in that group meeting, you know, where she said like, oh, I mourn the person, I mourn my friend when they were still alive. So it was, you know, not easier, but it wasn't the same type of mourning that you do when somebody dies. So when they died, it wasn't that type of mourning. You know, I think a lot of parents do go through that with this kind of stuff, where it's like you try and you try. I thought that was, you know, not every parent does that, and a lot of drug problems do come from parents too, right? But I don't know. I've seen a lot of stories that mimic that.
Well, yeah, when the children or when the child has a good upbringing and the drugs are just somehow they happen, then really it is probably a case of the parents do try their best. But yeah, it does get out of control. I mean, even for Steve Carell, right? It got to the point where he had to stop trying. That was very difficult for him. You could see that. That was probably his best scene. Props to him for pulling that off when he hangs up on the son. Yeah, it was definitely not a comedy like I expected,
It was not a
but
comedy. No, it
it
was
was a good movie.
a very serious piece. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. I thought Timothy Chalamet did a great job. That was a award-winning performance. I feel even in terms of the anger, like I thought that was pretty realistic too. Like, you're tweaked out, even if you're not actively high. Your brain's already f***ed up, and I don't know. I think the depiction of them being angry and all that, and overly aggressive, I think that's real. Like I said, based on other things I've seen and read. So I don't think he overplayed his hand.
No,
I think he did a great job.
I agree.
Steve Carell, I thought, was actually quite a weak performance.
Well, he played Michael Scott. Did you catch
That was my
it?
issue. I've seen Steve Carell in a lot of things. I've seen Steve Carell in not a lot of things, but in a good number of things. And I don't think I've ever seen him play Michael Scott outside of The Office until this movie.
He doesn't do it all the time. Again, he does some good scenes, but yeah, there's a few moments where like he goes into Michael Scott mode.
Yeah, like it was too much, and it was just like I don't know if that was the director or the biography writers who were like, yeah, I want Michael Scott, I want Steve Carell to play my character, even though it made no fucking sense.
The only thing missing was like the world's greatest boss mug on his desk.
Yeah, really. Yeah, like that's one scene where he was screaming at his son as he was leaving the house. It just sounded so much like the scene where Toby comes back in the office and Michael starts having a fit. Like, that's what I thought of the entire... Like, it was just so Michael Scott. I'm just like, this is way too much of a... Like, I don't know. I don't think it was Steve Carell. I think he was directed to act that way, and I just think that was a mistake.
Also, when at the beginning, in the very first part of the movie, he's speaking on the phone with somebody, and he gets angry, and it sounds exactly like Michael Scott there as well.
Yeah. So Steve Carell did not, I don't think, put forward a particularly strong performance, but Timothy Chalamet absolutely did. It was definitely the star of that movie. And the wife was good. Karen, I don't know who she was. The mom was okay. Again, that's why I think this was another like fever dream for somebody, because to cast Steve Carell as the dad and then Michael Scott's wife as the mom.
I like to think that this is like, a continuation of The Office. This is not a coincidence. Like, this is literally just a continuation of The Office, right? What happens is they have the child, they break up after The Office, and this is the movie. This is what happens to Michael Scott in the future.
Yeah. So I just think that was just way too big of a coincidence to be like, and plus the performance, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking like somebody really likes The Office and like really pushed hard to like bring back that couple. Even though they weren't a couple in this movie, but, they were still mom and dad. It was just, I don't know. It was really weird. I didn't like the excessive time cuts. There were a few times in the movie where I was a little bit lost on what the timeline was.
Well, especially when they're like, when everybody's their age, the same actor, so you don't actually know if this is, is this in the future now? Yeah, the university part. Exactly. When he goes to university and it's like, wait, where are we now? Is he out of rehab now?
Well, that's the thing, because he was in rehab, right? Because he was in the halfway house, and the halfway house looked like a university dorm, and then all of a sudden he was at the university dorm, and it was like...
Which looks more like a halfway house.
Which actually kind of did, yeah, it's true. Overall, though, I really enjoyed the movie, which I didn't think I would.
No, it's definitely a good movie. It's a movie that's it's again another one like Gran Torino where I wouldn't really want to watch it again, especially because like I don't know if you're squeamish of needles, it's not fun to watch certain moments. So yeah, fair warning to anybody. But yeah, no, it was a good movie. It was definitely among the top for me.
But not the top.
Not the top. Pump Up the Volume still stays top.
Pump Up the Volume is still the top for Raji. I'm going to give this one my top spot.
Wow. So this topples Bridesmaids. Wow.
It does. I really like this. I really like this movie despite the few shortcomings. Actually, I was surprised to see, because I was checking out reviews afterwards too, that it kind of, well, first of all, the critics panned it. It only had like a 5 or something, or 6 or something from critic reviews.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. I would have thought that critically it would be good.
Audience reviews were a bit higher, low to mid 7, depending on what site.
Which is weird compared to Bridesmaids, which had like 8 something, right?
Yeah, so I was a little bit surprised that it's not particularly well received online, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. And yeah, so I'm going to give it my top spot. Anyways, it's your turn. And for the next 2 sessions...
It's Christmas theme time, right?
2? I guess, yeah. There's a special randomizer button on the website where you can choose specifically Christmas movies or holiday movies. So that's what we're going to do for the next two things. So tell us what we got.
So holiday movie generator, go. 8-Bit Christmas. That's our movie.
I have no idea what that is.
Me neither, but it looks like it's right up our alley.
That's true.
There's a Nintendo on the poster.
What is this? 2021 American Christmas comedy film. Stars Neil Patrick. You know what? I'm in for it. As soon as I hear Neil Patrick, I'll watch anything with Neil Patrick Harris, especially if it's comedy. Winslow Fegley, I don't know who that is. June Raphael, I don't know who that is. David Cross, I do know who David Cross is. Steve Zahn, oh, he's good too. I was actually, what did I just watch that had him in it? It was a movie where him and a guy went out. Was it Joyride? Yeah, it was Joyride. Oh, it had Paul Walker in it. Where him and his buddy were out on like a road trip or something, and they were f***ing around with some guy on a CB radio, and the guy got too far into it and started stalking them and like chasing them down with their truck and all that.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember the premise of the movie.
You know what? Anything that's got Neil Patrick Harris, David Cross, and Steve Zahn in it I'm down with that.
And it seems like a family movie, you know? It's fun for everybody.
Yep.
Just good old wholesome Christmas fun.
Oh, and it's about a kid who wanted a Nintendo Entertainment System.
So it's like what was it? Christmas Story? Is that the movie where the kid wanted a BB gun? It's just the modern.
I hate that movie.
The modern. Well, I think it's a love-hate relationship for a lot of people, but it's like a modern retelling of that where people don't really appreciate guns anymore.
There you go, maybe. But got decent ratings, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Average rating is 7 out of 10, so I don't know, a little bit low, but that's for something like this. Metacritic 6. Actually, it's kind of sitting almost exactly where Beautiful Boy was.
So there we go. Maybe that's your...
But it's comedy, so I kind of would expect a lower score. It's usually not particularly popular.
I think it's going to be good.
It might be.
It's a nice change of pace.
We shall see. Like I said, it's got some actors. It's got a fair number of actors I like in it. So, it was shot in Toronto. So a nice Canadian filmed movie.
It was shot in Toronto. It is probably set somewhere completely different.
Yeah, nothing shot in Toronto ever is in Toronto.
Same with Vancouver. A lot of things are shot in Vancouver for the tax breaks, and yet they're never set in Vancouver.
It's true. Well, there we go. That's our next movie. It's time to get into the Christmas spirit, everybody. And on that note, Raji has a very Christmas related word of the fortnight.
Our word of the fortnight this time around is artifice. ARTIFICE. It's a very Christmassy noun. It's a clever device or skill. Or the other definition is false or dishonest behavior. And the example is, if there's one thing this podcast lacks, it's artifice.
Yep.
There you go. It's a good Christmas sounding word, right? Artifice.
So technically, Santa Claus knows not if you've been naughty or nice, but if you've been nice or an artificer.
He knows if you've been nice or artifice.
Oh, there you go. All right. And now we're going to listen to some nice Christmassy Pokemon sounds.
Yep. With all the crystalline sound effects they have in them, they're definitely Christmassy.
Do 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 do. So we're judging Pokemon legendary Pokemon sound effects. We are well into the second round at this point, and here we go. Here's some. Here we don't know who they are. Again, just to reiterate, we don't know which Pokemon these belong to. We're judging them specifically on the sound. We're gonna find out who they are at the end of the, or I guess at the beginning of the next season. Here we go. 41 between 29 and 36. Here's 29.
Very pleasant sound.
Yep. And 36. There's the crystalline. There's the crystalline we missed so much.
You could just hear Silent Night in the background.
It's true.
I'm going with 29. I didn't like 36 that much because I think the only reason 36 went through is because the one before it was even worse. So I don't like the crystalline sound effect very much. I'm going to go with 29. Because that one just sounds like an actual roar, like a quick.
It's true.
Quick
That one
roar.
sounds like it's a sound something would make. Yeah.
Yeah, like a fox or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. All right. 29 goes through. All right. Battle 42 between 13 and 77. Here's 13. Another deep roar. It's like the evolved stage of 29.
Like a smokestack.
Okay. All right. And 77.
Oh, this is the cough. This is somebody muffling their cough. That's beautiful. I'm going to go with this one. I love this one.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like they roar and then have a, it's those people who, even I do it now, right? Where you laugh and then it devolves into a cough.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they roar and then they start.
It's like an
coughing into their arm or whatever.
octogenarian Pokemon, just trying to get a roar out and then suddenly coughing up a storm.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, that's 77. All right, 77's taking round 42. 43, match 42. Match 43, between 20 and 45. Here's 20. That just has like a little chime in there just because.
Well, it's the Christmas spirit, you know?
It's true. It's true. This is Santa Claus Pokemon.
Like this one's probably one of the most Christmassy ones because it's not even crystal. It's just literally, you could hear the sled passing by.
Yeah. Yeah, the bell. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. All right, and 45.
This one, 100%.
That's just it.
This one's going all the way.
That's just indigestion. It's not even a cry, he's just burping.
I'll go with 45. It's 100% for me.
Yeah, 45 is good, actually. I'll give 45 it. Yeah.
I remember we laughed
it.
up a storm when we first heard it.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, and match 44 between 5 and 60. Here's 5.
It's like a monk. Like a monk chanting something in the background.
What?
Yeah.
There is like a little different of a tone in the background. You're right. I don't know if I'd say it's a monk.
Summoning a beast from within. Something like that.
Maybe that's what's going on. All right, and 60.
Yeah, I like the monk one instead. This is the one that we already heard before. We actually tied on, whatever this one was competing against. But I'm gonna go with the monk summoning a beast from within. It's very interesting.
Well, I'll agree with you on that one. 5 it is. 5 it is. They were all kind of similar, kind of deep roars with a little bit of extra going on in there today. Other than 45, which had the...
That's beautiful.
Just the gas attack.
It's amazing.
Gas attack. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, if you're in the States. If you're not in the States, then just whatever. You get nothing from me.
Just a big pile of coal.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Ciao.